Hello, 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 everyone. You are asking Ashley. And today's question is, why do I self-sabotage? And I want to talk about this because I see a lot of this in the world. Like, people are just sabotaging their own, self. And what does this look like? To me, when people are deliberately doing things that will ruin their life or ruin their relationship, just ruin good things that are happening in their life. And of course, I want to bring it to relationships because that's what I've experienced. I always talk about my experiences. I feel like a lot of times people self-sabotage because it's like they don't love themselves. So it's an inner thing. So, mentally they feel like they don't deserve something. So they do little things to mess stuff up in their life or whatever. And I think that's like a true testament to the necessity of mental health awareness and, getting counseling and things like that. And of course that isn't very normalized in my community, and more so in the past. But now, people are really talking about it, like mental health stuff, mental health awareness and things like that. And we all need to speak to somebody. And I feel like a lot of times when you're going through stuff inside, that just reflects everything you do, and you just self-sabotage. So going back to me, I like to give a little context. So I spoke about this previously. I was in a time where I experienced a breakup that really hurt me. And after, I realized, I wasn't really happy with my life, my career, and, where I lived at the time. And it just, all was, weighing on me so heavily that it started to show up in my relationship. So during this time, I was self-sabotaging on 100. So I was in this situationship, and it was looking back on it, it was what I accepted that, I did that, I said that, I was arguing about that. I look back on it and it was I was really just sabotaging myself. I thought I was I thought I was showing that I was a strong girl and I could deal with all of this stuff. And during that time, that guy was going back and forth between me and the ex, and I thought that I could come out victorious because I'm this and that and so, but really I just wasn't happy with myself. So I was just self-sabotaging my relationships because I was super focused on my career, and I was thinking if I could fix this, then I'll fix everything else. But really it was something internally in me. And I dealt with I didn't deal with the breakup, and I was hurt, and that showed up with the self-sabotage. So that is that. And I feel like in other cases, in other scenarios, they self-sabotage because that's what they experience. So a lot of times your experiences show up in your everyday life as an adult. So whatever you experienced as a kid shows up with who you are as an adult. And of course that is super duper prevalent in a lot of situations where things go left, and people say, let's look back on his childhood, because it's true. That's something that we know normalizes crazy stuff in your adulthood. And I feel like a lot of times we don't even realize it's self-sabotage. That's the bad scenario, when you don't even realize you're self-sabotaging. You just keep doing little things, and it's just messing up everything. And that happens a lot, I feel like, in men, because they can't show emotions, so they are just self-sabotaging. And this is something I experienced with my husband. He had a time that he was feeling away, but he didn't necessarily come out and tell me. And I'm also not a very emotional. I want to get into emotions and how you're feeling. When you ask somebody how you doing, you don't really want to. Well, I didn't really want to hear someone's emotions and get into the whole gambit of I'm so sad and stuff like that. I just I'm good, and that's it. So during that time, I guess from his point of view, I was emotionally unavailable, And again, as a man, you're not going to just come out and say, you know, I'm feeling this way, I'm sad, you know, this happened or whatever. So during that time, I felt like he would do stuff like manipulative stuff. Like, to me, that is like a trigger. When people do, like when they try to manipulate me to do certain things, like I'm very aware of that, and I'm very bullheaded, and I will stand my ground, and I will not do whatever it is they're trying to do, or whatever emotion they're trying to get me to display. I won't display it. Like, I will be stone faced. Like, even if I do care in that moment, I will be so triggered by someone manipulating me that I would just like shut down. So that's something, again, my experiences from childhood, that's something that I've developed. And I feel like that's something very hard for me to like try to like, you know, get out of that, because it's just something that's so innate in me at this point. Like, if someone is trying to mind F me, I'm like, you're not getting it from me today. Like, nope. I'm not responding. You're not getting a reaction. Like, super good on that. So he wanted to invoke, you know how like people, you know, give the exact scenario. He'd be like, I'm leaving, I'm out. Whatever, I'm out, I'm leaving. I'd be like, all right, okay. I'll holler at you. Well, I'll see you when I see you. All right. Packing the stuff. Like, oh, don't forget that. Don't forget all that stuff. Because he wanted me to come and say, oh, no, don't leave. Let's talk about it, stuff like that. Well, I don't even remember what the argument was. All I know is that he tried to buck, and I sat back, okay? Because I was not chasing him and falling into the manipulation. Like, and that's stuff that a lot of people do. They think they could pack up and leave and just do the dramatics and stuff like that. That does not work with me. If you say you're going to go, I'm going to help you pack and get you out of there quicker. Because don't do that. Don't try to, you know, do something to get a reaction out of me. Like, you're never going to get a reaction out of me ever. So that's just me. And it's just the self-sabotage. And a lot, like I said, that probably worked for someone in the past. And that's something that you probably experienced. Maybe you saw that in your childhood with your parents doing things like that. But I'm not for that. I'm not for the breaking up to make up. I'm not for the on and off. I'm not for the packing up and leaving. I'm not for none of that. So if you leave, stay gone. That's just me. And that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But listen, if you feel yourself doing stuff just to control the situation, you're probably sabotaging the situation. And sometimes it goes so far you can't bring it back. So be super aware of those things and make sure you like check your mindset. And a lot of the times what I have to do, and again, I am Christian, so this is what I do. You could make it fit to whatever your life is. Sometimes when I'm in like a bad headspace, like things are going wrong, or I'm stressed out about something, a lot of times, you know, you dwell in what's going wrong. So you just think about that. Now, with something I do, I practice, of course, I read a Bible scripture that, you know, aligns with whatever I'm going through. And I just focus on, you know, the blessings in my life and like things that like I've succeeded in. And I just think about that, and I just be like, thank you so much for X. Like, thank you so much for that. I'm so glad that I have this in my life. And just focus on that. When you focus on the good things in life, you don't, like, it doesn't bring you down. Because when you focus on, like, the negative things and, you know, what happened and what they did to you, 9 times out of 10, you are going to be sabotaging. And you think that you might be sabotaging what they have going on, but ultimately you're sabotaging you. And that's really self-sabotage. And we do not want anyone to self-sabotage. I want you to live your best life. I want you to go and find the person you're supposed to be with and get your relationship together, get your mindset together, get your finances together, and live your best life. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have a friend that you feel like is going through some things, just share this with them. Share this page with them. Share this video with them, because I want to chat with you. You can ask some questions in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time on Asking Ashley.